what's up? My name is Moriah. His name is Solomon. Today I wanted to share with you just a few parenting hacks. Some things that I learned before actually having Solomon, and then some things I've learned in the process of having a child who is now 18 months, a year and a half old. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. One of the things that is really helpful but you might not think of is when you go to a grocery store or Target or any place where you might be using a cart, park close to the cart return. I will say parking by a cart return is way better than parking close to the store, because that way once you go back outside after you've bought your groceries or your items, you get to your car, the cart return's right there. You don't have to walk super far to get the cart return and then decide, do you keep your kid with you or put them in the car first? It's just way easier. Park close to a cart return. Super simple, it's gonna make your life a lot easier. Here's one that probably every single person puts in one of these types of videos, but it is really helpful. When you're changing your baby's diaper, put the clean diaper underneath their little booty, underneath the dirty diaper. So when you pull the diaper down, you just do your little wipe skis, pull the dirty diaper away, and then you can flip that diaper right back up. Of course, remember, if you do have a boy, pointing down is always good once that diaper is up. In the same line with diaper changes, if you have a squirmy kid, especially as they get older and they're a lot more active, give them something to hold. Maybe it's a book they really like. My kid really likes books, so often I'll hand him a book so he can look at a book while I'm changing his diaper, especially if it's a poo-poo, and that really helps. Sometimes he still gets really squirmy. Sometimes it's a matter of having a TV show on while you change the diaper, especially if it's something that's gonna get a little messy. Anything to make them a little bit less squirmy. Bath time can get tricky. One thing I would recommend, especially when you have a little one, if you have room in your bathroom and you have a changing mat that you can easily transport different places. We didn't get a changing table when Solomon was born. We just got this like silicone mat that was easy to just wipe down. We would just put it on the floor. We could move it from room to room. That's just kind of what our style is. We weren't really the like always change the diaper at a changing table type people. Like we change his diaper anywhere and everywhere right now. And we always have. But if you can bring the mat into the bathroom and already have like a towel, maybe a cozy blanket, if you're gonna put them in a robe, have that all ready on the mat, have the clean diaper ready to go. That way, once you bring your baby out of the bathtub, you can just get them right into that cozy little situation with the diaper and everything, and it's right there for you. We didn't think about this right away, and so it was always, and our bathroom's kind of small, so it was always a little bit tricky to figure out transporting the baby, keeping him warm. Hopefully he doesn't pee everywhere. So it was a little tricky for us to start out with, but once I started bringing the changing mat into the bathroom and having that all ready to go, that became a lot easier. Now, if you have one of those bathtubs that you just fill up, or if you do like the kitchen sink type bath, again, just have the mat on the floor, have it on the counter, somewhere that you can easily just baby right there right away. If you do use a changing table, just maybe bring the mat that goes on the changing table, bring that with you when you go to do bath time. For me, it was just a lot simpler and a lot less stressful to just after bath time have the baby diapered up and cozied up and all of that. Once your baby gets a bit older and is able to sit up on their own, and you maybe can just put them in the bathtub without having to put them in like a little bathtub or in any type of like reclining bathtub, but they're just in the main bathtub. Something that sounds super simple, but it's maybe something you wouldn't just think about, is get one of those bath mats that you can stick on the floor of the bathtub. That way your kid isn't scooting and sliding and squirming all around. They have a more stable base, something that they can kind of stick to. We just happened to think of that, but nobody had told us that. It wasn't like something that I felt was super obvious either, because we weren't people that just had a bath mat in our tub. So something with suction cups that can stick to it. If you don't like to have the mat there for when you are showering or in the bathtub, just pull it up, slap it to the wall of the shower, and you're good to go. This is kind of an odd one, but it is helpful sometimes. I don't do this all the time, But to rinse out Solomon's hair just to help kind of get it wet because he's squirming all around everywhere, sometimes I use a turkey baster so that it's easier to kind of start washing it out. You can be a little bit more specific with where you're pointing it because, you know, only so much stream comes out of the turkey baster as opposed to like a cup or like a washcloth that's going everywhere. He absolutely hates it when water gets in his eyes, so I've tried to be as careful as I can to not have that happen. So sometimes using a turkey baster just to do a little rinse helps. This is my last bath one, and again, something that maybe seems super obvious to all of you, but was not to me. When Solomon started to get a little bit older and he was walking and standing more, we got one of those little step stools for the bathroom so that he can step up. You know, we can wash his hands more easily in the sink. It's easier to brush his teeth. You know, all of those things that are easier to do when he's able to like see above the sink. Probably a little bit too long after we got that step stool, I realized when I'm giving Solomon a bath, instead of like sitting on the floor, kneeling or crouching, why not just sit on the stool? It made so much sense. I can't believe I didn't think of it before. So if it's something that you haven't been doing or you didn't think of, sit on the stool when you're bathing your kid. I kind of wish we would have just gotten one of those step stools from the start, because even though in the beginning I would often just kind of like stand in the bathtub with Solomon, having that stool once I was not doing that anymore would have been so nice and a lot more comfortable. So I recommend from the start having a little step stool that you can sit on by the bathtub. That way you don't have to be kneeling. You probably get a little bit less wet that way. I just find it really helpful. I don't know what all of you have bought for crib sheets, but when we bought crib sheets, we just got some at Target, and the sheet itself came in this little pouch that had some Velcro on it. And I saved those pouches. I have, I think, 3 of them and a couple other random pouches that I think came from maybe like sheets we bought or something. But sheets in general seem to come in these little bags. So I kept the little pouch that they came in, and I use them to stick in diaper bags or wherever, and I can put books and toys, and it makes it a lot easier in your diaper bag to be like, oh, all my toys are in this little pouch. You can also use it to maybe put like a change of clothes in there, maybe like first aid stuff or, you know, whatever, but it actually really helps to keep your bag a little bit more organized. You can use it as like a pouch that you stick in your car. You can use it as a pouch just maybe like in your kids' toy stuff. Solomon really likes to like bring the pouch to me and then have me open it, and then he takes stuff out of it. So you can do that too. It's kind of a fun like discovery thing for your kids. So I would recommend saving those little pouches, and then you can use them for organization, whether it's in your diaper bag, whether it's in your toy area, in your closet, but they really come in handy and they're a nice little pouch. Kind of in that same line of things, keep books and other toys just in your car. That way you don't have to worry about like transporting things. We always keep some little books in like the pouch thing that's on the back of the front car seats, the like driver's car seat and stuff. We just keep some books in there, ones that are just always in the car, especially if you have more like indestructible ones. My parents have this like children's highlight subscription, so we get all these little highlight, like I guess they're kind of like magazines or little books, and they don't destroy very easy, so they're really nice to keep in the car. We also have a few other indestructible books, and I'll show those here so that you can see what those are like. But they're really nice, especially in the car, because I don't have to worry about him like ripping pages or anything, and I can just always have them in there, so when he's in the car I can give him something to occupy himself. I also will sometimes keep like a small stuffed animal or two, something in there just so he has something to do while we're driving. It's also really helpful in your home to have play areas everywhere. Maybe all of you are already doing this, but if you haven't really thought about it, like even in your own bedroom, or maybe have a spot like in the living room, or I don't know what all your spaces are like. I live in an apartment, but that's not that big, so I have 2 bedrooms and like a living room and kitchen area. We have a bunch of toys out for him in the living room. We kind of cleared everything off of our entertainment center, and the drawers and shelves became areas to keep his toys. So that's been really nice because then he has all his stuff out there. And kind of one of our bigger bookshelf-y things, we have a couple sections that are specifically his books, so he has his areas. Of course, he has toys in his room, and then I recently have put a toy in our room so that when we come in here, whether it's like I'm putting away laundry and he's with me, he has something that he can occupy himself with, unless he goes through the laundry too, but he always has something that's specifically his. It's also really helpful if you get little baskets or buckets that you can keep in multiple rooms in your home, that you can just put diapers and wipes in. We've been doing that for a long time. We used to keep some in our room too when he slept in here, but now it's just in his room, and in the living room we have just buckets or baskets that I keep diapers and wipes in all the time, so it's easier to just like go to that spot. I restock here and there, but that way you just kind of have it wherever you want it, especially if you're one of those people that doesn't have a changing table you always use and you just change your kid anywhere. That's really helpful, just to always have that type of thing around. Then you don't have to be like running from room to room to try to get it while your kid's sitting in a poopy diaper. And my last one here is, if you are one of those people that has a room that you have the blackout curtains for your child, but it just doesn't seem dark enough, you can put other things in the window. At first, I used a bunch of paper that I had taped in. I tried using cardboard. That didn't work super well for me, but if that works for you with your windows, go ahead and do it. You do you. But what I found the most helpful was black garbage bags. I can't believe I didn't think about this sooner. It was so much easier. You just tape black garbage bags to the window and then put the curtains over it, and it really helps eliminate a lot of the light that sneaks in past even blackout curtains, especially if you live in an apartment and you just don't have the ability to screw in curtain rods or just attach something in a more permanent way. Really helpful to have the curtain over the window and then garbage bags taped to the window. Again, if cardboard or like just black construction paper works well for you, go for it. That didn't work great for me. It felt like it was always coming off. It was a lot more complicated than it needed to be. Black garbage bags, they work great. So thank you all for watching my video today. Remember, do like it if you enjoyed the video. Click the subscribe button down below and the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my videos when I upload. I post every single Wednesday with the occasional other day, although not that frequent about it. Make sure you leave me a comment if you want to let me know of other video ideas that you have for me that you would like me to try, or if you just want to say hey. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye everyone.